Hey, good day to everybody. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Journey. I would like to discuss on this particular video some of the advantages, but more importantly, the disadvantages of boondocking. I mean, right now, what I'm doing would be considered boondocking in the RV/Evangelistic community. So, I like to start with some of the advantages of boondocking. The advantages of boondocking are pretty obvious for those of you that know anything about the nomadic life. Can't even talk. But anyways, just in case you don't, boondocking basically means that from night to night or day to day, you go to different spots and you find a place to sleep. Or you might go to a random spot of your choice and you sleep. Some people go to different spots, other people might go to the same spot every night, like I do, basically. That's basically, in a nutshell, the definition of boondocking. Boondocking basically means also that you're not hooked on to no utilities. You're not hooked on to no type of electric or water or any of that stuff, as I'm not. All you have is whatever energy that might come out of your vehicle battery, cigarette lighter, or generator. Those are your only energy sources. Or you might go into a building close to you and you might utilize their electricity. You might utilize their water and their bathroom utilities, as I do. I mean, that's basically the definition of boondocking in a nutshell. Well, the advantage of the boondocking, of course, is quite obvious. Number one, you save a considerable amount of money on housing when you boondock. When you boondock, like when I'm boondock into the traveling plaza every night, I don't have to worry about paying any money to park in that plaza at night. I just go, I park, I do my business, I get my rest, I wake up the next morning, I do my morning routine, and I leave. I don't have to worry about paying no kind of money. I don't have to worry about no type of financial commitments in that regard. Another advantage is if I look around and I feel the area is questionable and I feel I'm not going to be safe, or if I look around and I just flat out don't like my surroundings, I don't like the people, or whatever the case might be, all I gotta do is turn the key, press the gas, and I'm gone. That simple. Every day I can pick a different spot to park. I mean, anywhere I want to be my yard, I can make my yard, as some people would put it. Whenever I want to leave an area, go to another area, another state, even another country, at the drop of a hat, I can go ahead and get that done, provided that I got the proper amount of money. And my vehicle is on point for that. Those are some of the advantages of boondocking. Now, on to the disadvantages of boondocking. The disadvantages of boondocking, which is something I really wanted to discuss a little more in detail, because a lot of you that are looking into living this nomadic life, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to do it because you want to save money on housing. Some of you are going to do it because you're in the struggle and maybe you're getting ready to be evicted, or you've already been evicted and now you're looking for means of surviving without having to live under a bridge without having to live under a bridge in a tent, or without having to live with some relatives that get on your last nerves. So here are some of the disadvantages of boondocking. Number one, you will run into a lot more random people. And when I mean random, I mean some people you run into might be normal and they got their screws on tight. Other people, they're kind of out there a little bit. Like for an example, when I woke up this morning, before I began to record my first video this morning, the video where I discuss places, good places to sleep. There's this one lady that came up to me and she asked me if she could use my phone to call somebody, and I asked her why does she need to use my phone, what's wrong with her phone, and she told me that her phone is low on battery power. So I told her, okay, well, I don't want no strange number on my phone. So as I proceed to grab my charger and plug it in my cigarette lighter and hand her the cord to where she can plug that cord into her phone, that way she'll get enough charged for her to make whatever call she's got to make. As I proceed to do that, her tune changed real quick. She decided to not take me up on that offer, and she said, well, I'll just go make a call over there. So that just goes to let me know that there is something that she was trying to hide, and she wanted my number as opposed to her number. So you will run into strange people like that. You will run into people that will try to, in some way, take advantage of you. You're running into people that will ask you for money. You're running into people that will act like they're in need when really they're not in need. They're in greed. And of course, when you're boondocking, sometimes if you're not parked in the right area, you will be harassed by law enforcement and or by other people who live in that community. Or you'll be harassed by the business owner or the employees of the parking lot in which you're parked in. And yes, you will run a higher risk of bad things happening to you, such as carjacking and other forms of robbery, which is the reason why when you're boondocking, you need to be vigilant. You need to have street smarts. In fact, if I were you, I would have some means of protection, like a pistol, some mace. I mean, even if you got a bottle of bleach you can spray at someone's eyes, that would be better than nothing at all. A knife. I mean, I got a couple of pieces of protection in this van. And I would encourage anyone who has to boondock or wants to boondock in order to save money to have some means of protection. Because there are people out here that are bad people, and if you allow them to, they will hurt you. And I don't care where in the country you're located. I don't care if you're in the city. I don't care if you're in the country. I don't care if you're in the mountains. I don't care if you're in the woods. I don't care if you're by the water, ocean, lake, whatever. I don't care where you're at. Big city, small city. I don't care what region of the country. It doesn't matter. You got good people, you got bad people. And when you're boondocking, you need to be extra vigilant of the bad people. Because the good people aren't going to ruin your day. The good people might make your day, but the bad people, they're going to really ruin your day. So when you're boondocking, you need to be extra vigilant of your surroundings. Now with me, you know, I consider myself to be a relatively nice, easygoing person. But when I'm out here doing my thing in my van, like getting rest, or I'm like right now, I'm making videos, or rather I'm doing that, or I'm eating one of my meals. I mean, you know, I'm still nice, but not as nice. Like if someone comes up to me and I don't know them, and they ask me for money or they ask me for some kind of favor, my very first question is going to be, why? What do you want? I'm going to come at them aggressively, because if they really need me for something, they're not going to care how aggressive I may come across. But if they're coming at me on some BS, thinking that they're going to try to get one over me, I want them to know immediately, I'm not the one. It's the wrong day, the wrong person. You better keep it stepping. And another disadvantage about boondocking, of course, is going to be you're not going to have convenient access to plumbing or electricity. Like during business hours, you can go into a gas station, you can go into some grocery stores and use their bathroom and utilize their water. On extra hot or cold days, you can go inside the building and warm up or cool down, depending on the time of the year. But after hours, when a lot of businesses close down for the day is you're going to be on your own devices when it comes to your source of energy, and when it comes to having to utilize the bathroom, you're going to be more so on your own devices. The places where you're going to be able to go are going to be a lot more limited because a lot of businesses are going to be closed down. And one biggie which I like to point out is when it comes to using the bathroom and utilizing water, I mean, there's certain places where a lot of the bathroom water is downright filthy. Like, you got people that piss all over the toilet seat, or they might defecate all over the seat. It's just plain nastiness. Toilet paper all over the floor. And then when you go to utilize the water out the sink for whatever reason, sometimes the sink is nasty. It's dirty as all get out. It's got toilet paper all over it for some apparent reason. I even went in the bathrooms where the sink had fecal matter on it. I don't know how that happened, but weird things happen because people are weird. So that's another huge disadvantage of boondocking, is you don't have access to all the basic necessities such as plumbing and electric. Now, of course, if you're living in an RV, or you gotta build to where you have your generator and you got some means of a makeshift plumbing, then that's no problem. You're on point, at least for that time being. But if you're like me, you're living out of a minivan, the disadvantage of the boondocking could be very real depending on what part of the country that you're traveling in and what time of the day you're in that area. And then, of course, and piggybacking off of that disadvantage, of course, it's going to be the climate, because if you don't have electricity and you're in an area that's either cooler or warmer, either A, you're going to be too hot, or you're going to be too cold at night. So a lot of times when you spend time in your vehicle, you're not going to be within the ideal temperature range. You're going to be a little uncomfortable as a result. And then, of course, you're going to risk getting that knock on the door or getting disturbed, being forced to have to possibly relocate to a new area. And there's some other disadvantages about boondocking that if I sit here and think hard enough, I can probably name off. And if I think about enough of them, I'll make a part 2 to this. But for now, I don't want to make this video too long. So the next time that you want to live, you're thinking about living the nomadic life and you're thinking about boondocking, just watch this video before you do. Until then, I'll see you on the next video.